Hello and welcome to the fourth lesson in the creation of our stock inventory management system. In our previous lesson, we completed everything we need to get our forms up and running. So in this tutorial, we're going to look at how we can start everything about our invoice and then the database of our customers as well as the items. So that is that. Let's just dive right into that. Because I have to launch my my system, and then I'll proceed. So like I said, the way we are naming the forms, make sure you follow exactly the sheets, make sure you follow exactly the same thing and do the same thing without any changes. So we are going to add some few sheets. The sheet has been created somewhere here, so we just have to drag it to the end here. So we have this as our invoice, so we just name it invoice. Sorry, I'm going to create another sheet here. I'm going to name it invoice lists. So invoice lists. Then we're going to create another one. We're going to call it invoice items. Invoice items. We're going to create another one. We call it customers. So we're going to have our customers database. Customers. And then last one, we're going to have list of our items database. So we call it items. Sorry. Items. So that is that. Now to start with the items database, we need some few headings here. So to start with, just make sure you select this range from cell A1 to D or so, sure, D. That's that. And then you just merge and center. So in here you just type items list. So you can just select it this way, and then we drag to open it up a bit like this. It is too big as well, so we can still decrease it like this, and then that'll be okay. I think this is okay. Good. So in here we're going to have our item type, our item or type. So say item slash type. In the next cell, we're going to have description, the description of our items. And the next one, we're going to have the quantity. Then you can type quantity in full or QTI, it doesn't matter. So you can sales price or sale price, whatever. Now with the item type, we're going to make reference to our product master sheet. So let's take note of that. So we come here, just type equal to, then we navigate to the product master sheet here, this one. Then we just select this and then press enter. So we have this here. So you can drag it to the number you want. Since it's going to be a very big system, you can drag it to whatever number you want. Yeah, so I'll try to leave it somewhere whatever. So I will leave it somewhere here. I want the number to 3,780. Good. And with the price as well, sorry, the sales price as well, we're equally going to make what's the name? The same thing, reference to our product master as well. So forget of that. So we type equal to, then we navigate to the product master sheet. Then we go for the sales price here. This is the sales price. We press enter, so we have that as well here. So just double click and then to have autofill. With the quantity by default, let's keep it 1 for now. Just double click to autofill. The description will be doing that within our form here. We'll be designing a form for this. So with this, you can do whatever you want with this. Maybe just change the font style to Times New Roman. Then you can bold it a bit, and then you can grow it a bit. You can center the text, and that's okay. If you want to give it some background color too, you can do that as well. Maybe 4 color here. It should be white to have the text pop up here as well. You can do whatever you want. Please, this is just something you would want to do, so you can just do that. And then can grow it a bit as well. Item list and for it. So I think maybe some background colors for maybe some black one. Leave the text white, so I can bold it, and that's okay as well. So that's that. I think we are done with our items database. Now we move on to our customers. With the customers, we're going to do the same table down there. With the customers, we're going to have, let's say, the first one. So select. Let me just confirm this. These items first, so that we don't run into any problem. Because the way we are designing it, the codes are written based on this setup. So whichever cell I select up to, you make sure you do exactly the same thing. So basically that is that. Now we'll move on to the customers. So with the customers, when we talk of that is cell A1 to what? The F. That is the ID, the name, address, phone, and then a second address, and then the email. Basically that is that. So but before we do that, let's just select up to F, and then this. Then we merge and center, and let's type here customer list. Customer lists. So here we should have ID, then we should have customer name, here we should have address. Address 1, the first address, address. Then here we should have phone number. Should have phone number here. Then here we should have address 2. Then we should have email address here. Basically that is that. So you can just select this entire range like this up to the F. You can just drag to open it like this. Doesn't really matter. You can still decrease it. So we want. So let's decrease that of the ID column. Then we can just whatever here. Times New Roman. You can grow this a bit. We would want to bold it. Let's edit this customer. Good. So here you can choose to give it this cute color here, and then the text should be white, and then this one as well. And then here as well, if we want to change the font style to Times New Roman, we would want to bold and center it as well. So I think everything is okay now. With this we can leave it like that. It doesn't really matter. Can decrease here a bit, address, phone number as well, increase it a bit rather, the customer name and everything. So you can save this and forget up to the range F this way. So that's now we are moving on to the invoice items. So with the invoice item, we're going to create two different tables here for that. So let's go ahead and start. So let's select from this to G, from A to G, right? So this, sorry, from A to G this way. Let's merge and center this, and let's just type invoice, sorry, items. Let's type invoice items, right? So left with that we have the invoice number. So you say INV number, sorry, number. In the next one we have the item. In the next one we have description. Then the next one we have the quantity. The quantity. Then we have the price. The next one we have the invoice row. So we say INV, sorry, INV dot row, invoice row for short. Then the next one we have just row. Good. So we are done with that. So we can equally do whatever I want to do with this. Times New Roman. You can grow this a bit. Whatever, please. You can do that. Whatever. You can change any color of your choice. This as well. We would want to center it, and then this. Okay, the invoice number is okay. The item, we make it bigger a bit. Description as well, make it bigger, a bit bigger. Quantity remains the same. Price, invoice row and row, that is okay. That's kind of good. Okay, we are done with this one. So we leave this column. Then we come to column I and let's type criteria. Criteria, and then here we type invoice number here. So from K, then just select from K to Q. Then we just merge and center it here from there. Merge and center. Then we type filter result. This filter results, whenever we save an invoice, it's going to be displayed here, and whenever we want to call it back, it will be picked from this filter result. So whatever is saved is going to be filtered into this. When you type in the invoice number on the invoice, it's going to look through this list and check on that number and display the items for that particular invoice number. So that is what this invoice and the filter results does. Take note of that. So here I'm going to name it invoice, maybe number, and here we should have item. Then the next one we should have description. In the next one we should have quantity. The next one we should have price. Then we should have invoice row. The next one we finally should have row. So that's sum it up now. We have this. Description should be a bit bigger. Item is okay. So let's format this. Okay, let's start with this first. We're going to bold it, this one as well. Bold it, Times New Roman, and this is okay. Quantity here, description here, everything in order without any stress. So I think we are good to go with that. Just to save. So why don't you select this and try to center it very perfectly? Okay, it's already centered. So I think we are done with that. Just to save. So the next one we're going to look at is the invoice list, right? The invoice list. But before we go there, let's just confirm this as well and make sure that everything is happening. We have K, L, M, N, O, P, Q code. So when we paste our codes, we don't have any other issue here again. So we talk of invoice lists. With our invoice list, we're going to have just one table here. So we select from what? A to D. Then we merge and center. So we just type this invoice lists. So here we have invoice number, and here we have date, and here we should have the name of the customer. And finally we should have total purchase, right? So basically that is that. So you can grow this a bit, customer name to and grow it a bit. This one you can maintain it like that. So just change the fonts to Times New Roman. Can grow it a bit, can bold it, can give it this, can change this as well. Whatever you want it, can do that. Times New Roman. Select it, you can just center the text, can bold it as well. I think if you would want to give it some background color, who stops you? Nobody. So do that as well. I think this looks okay. So we have that. And finally, we're going to look at the invoice itself. So let's go ahead and create our invoice template without adding any, like I said, we're going to add anything here. just going to create the template down. To start with, let's select these two columns, that is column A and B, up to 30. And then let's try to disguise it, hide the cells using this particular color here. Then with the C2, just select it and then disguise it as well, use it maybe something like a lighter blue here or something like that. So we come from IJK as well, so IJK like this, up to 30, the same rule. Good. Sorry, my mouse can just be misbehaving at the point. I don't know why. See what I'm talking about? Holy shit, please excuse me, let me change this goddamn mouse. What's going on? Sorry. IJK. Good. So we should have the same color here now. So I think this is kind of good. Good. So we are done with that. Now with this, let's come to the second row here. But let's select from D12, right? We just merge and center it. You can make it grow a bit and then say this type invoice. It's okay for now. We can maintain this for now, so whatever, we can do that afterwards. So here we want to have customer row, so we just type casts row, meaning the customer row, the row the customer will be taken from the in the database. We want to take note of that. We have the invoice row, so inv row. Here we should have the new invoice. After creation of the first invoice, we need the next invoice, so new invoice. Then after that, we want to load invoice, so we say invoice. Oh, sorry. You say, holy shit, what's going on here? You say invoice load. Invoice load. And the next one, that is C, so you say next invoice number. So we're done with that. So here, but I would leave it empty for now, and then here as well empty. And then here, let's set it to true. It's going to be a boolean, and then here you set it to false, whatever. So this is kind of good for now. So let's just select the entire things here. Sorry, select it all here like this, and then let's give it all borders. For now, this wouldn't display anywhere. We just need it just to show all the shit. This mouse. And we just give it some quite cool background color like this, and then since we want the text to pop up, we can give it white. You can bold it also, change the distance to Times New Roman. It's okay. So we want to reduce the fonts just a bit because we don't need it actually. It wouldn't appear on the invoice. We just keep track of certain things. So basically that is that. Now with the cell D3 here, D3, we're going to type customer. So say customer. Oh yeah, that is okay. Customer name. So this will give us the customer name from here, and then here we're going to type the address. We want the address, the customer to also appear here, and then finally the phone number. So you say phone number here as well. So we want to have these details in the cell E, so we can expand this a bit. So we have the customer name here, address here, and phone here. We'll have that by default when we paste our codes for the invoice. So don't worry about that. Now the next thing we're going to do is let's try adding something here like this invoice number. So say invoice number here, and the date which invoice has been generated, date, and then the time. All are important. Good. So here we should have some default number here, so you can leave it here. So here, since we have this, let's go to our invoice items here, type equal to here, and refer to your invoice. Select this and then press enter, so it will make reference to this. So whatever we type in there should appear here. So let's try center it here to make it look good. So let's move on back to our invoice. So here, so we can try to center it and make it look good. That's nice. With the date, let's put today's date there. So we say the day you are working on this, just put that day's date there. So we say 20, and then let's say 20th, and then Okay, for now, let's leave it like this for now. Okay, whatever, let's put 20th 3 and then 2021, right? So that is that. So let's format this to be short date. Oh, so we are done with that. Now let's add time here. Let's put let's see, let's just take time. So we have 12 what? 12 be 45 seconds and then PM. Sorry, yeah, so it should be PM. So we can just format this to, then select this and choose time. Good, that's that. So I think we are making a headway now. So we'll have name here and then this and that. So here we want to leave this blank and then we come to cell D7, right? So here you should have items. Items are going to be displayed. You shall be having some drop down this thing here for choosing of what item, so you don't have to worry about that. So here we should have items row from the database, so we're going to have that items row. Here we should have description as well, and then here we should have quantity, and then here we should have let's say price, and then here we should have total. Here we would want to display the database row where the invoice has been generated from, and the details of the customer, the row on the database. So we have that as well here. So we would want to maybe disguise this, right? So we do this and then select this up to the 30th, right? Sure, to the 30th, and then up to the 27th or the 30th, right? Okay, we would want to disguise this. And then you can make it, you would want to hide the view, then the grid lines, we would want to hide them for now, like this. So after that, we can select and give it some few things that we want. So you can, for now, the next thing we are going to do here is this. We would want to, what else? Okay, we would want to select from this cell, so this way, select it like this, or maybe up to let's see, to F here, select it up to the F. Now we want to put it like this. Now we want to merge this and then center it. Merge and center it. So we have some text here, something like thanks for shopping with us, or something like that. Thanks for shopping with us. So something like that. So we want to work around this a bit. So we can just Times New Roman. We want to grow it a bit. We want to italic it. We want to bold it, and then we want it to be at the center of this. So good, kind of good like that. So here we should have something like this. Okay, we would want to have. Let me see. Okay, let's just let me just undo my action. Let's select this now. Okay, up to here, right click and go to format cells. Let's go to borders. We would want to give it some dotted borders at the top. This, think it's okay. So we have something like this up and running here. So you can equally select here and do the same thing. So right click, you go to format cells and do the same thing. So we want to give it, select this as well. Sorry, we don't need that. No, we don't need this. Let me just do that as well. Okay, let me clear this. Right click and then go to format cells as well. This center, this, and this. That's okay. So we have this as well. So here as well, we just want to give it this and that. So just right click, go to format cells. So we have this and that. That's okay. So we are good to go. So here you can just have something like let's see, is it 27? Okay, sure, should be on 28 rather, like this. So up to this it should be. Let me just undo this merge here. Then I would want to merge it from this way rather, so that we should have this in addition to this. So let's just cut this text and then paste it inside the code. So that is the case. It's here now. So I think let's just select this, right click, go to format cells. So you should have this in the middle. Sorry, sometimes in choosing, just be very careful. Format cells, this and that. Oh, I don't need this. My goodness. So just right click this and then go to format cells once again. After having the center one, I think and this one as well. So this should be okay. So we are good to go. Okay, so we are done with that as well. So with this one, let's just merge and center it well now. Good. I think it's okay now. That's okay. Control. So I think we are making a headway now. So the next thing we're going to do is this. Let's just check on this and increase the dig. Should I? Okay, let's maintain it that way. So let's change the font style to Times New Roman. So let's bold it a bit. It becomes bigger. Let's center the text accordingly. So this looks okay. So I think here we should have something like subtotal. So say subtotal. And here you should have like something like tax into brackets 10%. Then here we should have something like total. So I think we are done with that. So our invoice is just making it to the top. So I think basically with here we can choose to merge this together and center it at once, or redo it well up to F, right, and then center it well. You can put this at the top or the top, and then you can go ahead and then add your address stuffs or whatever you want to add here. So you can do that here, invoice, and then we want to wrap the text here. So let's select this and go to wrap text. So whatever we type, you can just have it to the next. Sorry. So you have, let's see, the name of your company. Let's see, KingTech. Sorry. Enterprise, something like that. So okay, I wouldn't merge with the second one, KingTech Enterprise. So box whatever, maybe 5, email KingTech@gmail.com. Whatever, you can do that, right? So this shouldn't be a problem. So I don't want to merge this and center now. I would want to merge only this one and center this, and then I'm going to use here for my let me just grow this a bit, and then sorry, expand it a bit rather this way. This way. Good. So we should have this now. So wrap this now. We should have this grow a bit, so you can bold it. Change the font style to Times New Roman. You would want to bold it, and then that looks okay. So here you can type invoice or whatever, invoice, and then you can center it, maybe center it here, make it grow a bit. Change the font style to Times New Roman, can bold it, and then that looks okay. So with this thing, have something like a picture or whatever, you can add it here. But for now, let's just go ahead and add some few buttons we shall be using here. some few buttons we shall be using here. Excuse me. Some heat here that is making things work perfectly for us. Okay. So you're going to add some 3 buttons, or that will be 4 buttons rather. So just go to inserts, then we come to shapes, then we choose this, then we just draw this, and then we format it accordingly. So why don't we just go this way and choose something like this? So right click on it and then edit text. So we call it save / update. So you can format it accordingly. So home, center this way, maybe Times New Roman. This is okay. So you can select this, or you can just select it, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to paste. So we should have this, and you can then edit it to add new. If you want to add new invoice, so you say add new, you can just select it as well, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Just leave this one here and call it cancel name. Cancel name. Now select it, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. We would want to call it this way, put it this way. Right click and then we would want to edit it and call it print invoice. Print invoice. So basically that is that. So you should have this selected one, then bring it down a bit. Now what's going to happen is this: we're going to move this one and then make it overlap on this. But before we do that, we are going to name them accordingly before we do that. So that is when we are ready to paste our code. So for now, I think our invoice, in fact, we've gone a long way. So let me just grow this a bit. Good. So whatever you want to add here, you can do that. It's your choice or whatever. So basically that is that. So for now, we'll end this tutorial here. So until our next tutorial, where we shall be looking at how to create a database form for our customers as well as our items for updating and description. Then from there, when we are done with that, we look at how to finish up with our invoice and paste our codes so we can have our invoice up and running. So let's just increase this a bit, grow this one a bit as well. So I think everything is working perfectly as we all expect. So this should be Times New Roman, but we can equally bold it a bit just to make it look good. So I will have our customers here, the address here, then the name, the phone number here. You can see that everything looks okay without any problem. So I think basically that is that. So say thank you very much for watching. So till our next tutorial, I say bye for now. Don't forget to save. Okay, so till our next tutorial, say thank you very much for watching and then bye for now.